Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to beautiful Pontoon Beach, Illinois. This is episode 44 of From Under the Bleachers. I'm your host slash computer guy, which is still weird for me to say. I'm Jacob Dale. Across from me is KMFG, Kevin motherfucking Getchell.
What's up, man? Getting pretty good on the ones and twos.
I'm trying, man. It's really hard to slide these levers up and down. Next to you is Jim Bro, Little Game James. What's up, buddy?
Come on, man.
And next to me is a guy who requires no introduction, but since we completely skipped that step last time, it's Fred Slow, friend of the show.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hi, Fred.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
I just like to say hi, all right, man? I introduced you, then you said hi, then I said hi back. I thought that was pretty legit order of operations there. Woo. All right, beer of the week is Pilsner Urquell.
Did you look that up, or is that exactly how you pronounce it?
That's how the guy at the liquor store pronounced it
Yeah.
when he suggested that I try it. So
Looks like
here we go.
Urkel to me.
Urkel? Did you do that?
Mm-hmm. I did, and I don't know if I'm going to do it again.
No, it doesn't taste very good.
I did not.
Actually,
Damn it.
it doesn't really bite back like
It's not bad.
most of the IPA-ish kinds you get.
This is not an IPA.
I-
This is a Pilsner.
not bad.
I understand. That's why I said it doesn't bite back as much. I like it.
It's in the title. It's a Pilsner.
I can't read Czech, I guess.
I don't know if that's a Czech word.
It says Czech.
Yeah.
Right, but it also says brewed in, so those aren't Czech words.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Anyways, shout out to Old Ball Yard here. I got to figure out which way I turn the camera here.
Oh, you
Fred
got
gave me
it.
this awesome
You
ass
got that
shirt
birds
here.
on the bat shirt.
This is the birds on the bat that Fred gave me from Old Ball Yard.
I sat down with the Old Ball Yard maybe a week ago or so, right before I just did a taco eating contest. So right before I sat down and did that, it was hey, Eric is the guy who's kind of behind the whole scenes there, and I was like, hey man, I'm really excited about what you're doing. It's obviously got a lot of passion for design. You got a lot of passion for, and there's a ton of them. Go to oldballyard.com. They have not just St. Louis Cardinals based ones, but every major league, but they're euphemisms and their slogans and their sayings, and they're really clever and they're really smart. And then price point is right. It's like mid $20. But yeah, he gave me a handful of them, and I thought,
This is soft. This is worth.
Is this
26
these the ones you showed me last week?
Yeah, I
I
showed you.
like them a lot.
So
There's
the
a lot
word's
of
already
clever
out.
ones.
So that's a 60-40. That's a poly cotton blend, guys. It's not going to shrink. That's
Yeah,
the
I
good
to be
like
thing.
honest,
that
it feels
fabric.
great.
That fabric is really nice.
So yeah, you look good. You look strong, man.
Thanks. I lift weights.
How does it look for guys that maybe don't have as many muscles and
Okay.
have a little bit of a beer gut?
A little bit of
what-
man tits.
And what you want to do there is you want to go to my social media, check me out, because I just did a whole taco eating contest wearing one, and I am not in the shape that you, my friend, are in. That
Did you have the birds on the bat?
yeah, I wore it the whole time.
I think my favorite is the one that has a big looping throw and it says "cut off man," just a suggestion or more of a suggestion. I think that's my personal favorite.
Hey, did you win?
Yeah, how'd that go?
No,
What
I'm more
time?
of a showman.
Oh.
You
You did it for the tacos?
Yeah, I came to put on a show. I didn't go to embarrass anyone, which I'm sure I could have. But also it's a classic defense mechanism where it's oh yeah, no, I didn't want to win.
Yeah, I didn't
How
even
many
try
did you
that
eat,
hard.
though, is the question, and what was the time frame?
So it was the Timo's Taco Eating Contest over at the Vitalto Country Fair, which is a benefit to the JC. Which, if you guys do not locally, wherever you are in the whole country, find your local JC. Absolutely support them as far as community involvement, specifically around the holidays, but also your township parks. There's no one better. So we're doing the taco eating contest, and it's 10 tacos in 4 minutes, or the most tacos. Whoever eats 10 tacos quickest is the winner, or whatever. So the guy next to me is literally, his nickname is the dumpster. So no, I'm just kidding. It's the garbage disposal. Guy named Clark. He was actually a super cool dude. But he ate 10 tacos in 2 minutes and 20 seconds, and I was live streaming the whole thing. So I'm trying to eat tacos with one hand, but I got like a camera. I got the iPhone 7, whatever. So I'm holding it. And I'm trying to eat a taco in front of it, and I'm the funniest guy you've ever met. And I blink, and this guy's eating 4 tacos. And I think, okay, well, this thing's over. So by the end of it, I eat 4 and some change, and I juggle a handful of them and put on a little bit of a show, and people have a lot of fun. But this is classic WWE mindset, guys. You don't care who wins and loses. It's just who does the best promo. And I was Fred 316 that whole time. So,
Yeah.
Well, you might have had a step up. You didn't have to double check, make sure you had play going on, and you wanted to make sure you got it recorded, right?
well, unlike From Under the Bleachers, I know how all this stuff works.
Oh, that's good.
So yeah,
That's
so
a plus.
I get it right the first time, and then coast from there.
Yeah, we're on episode 44, and we're
still figuring it out.
Barely figuring it out, but at least this time we did introduce the guest,
which was a positive.
So it's a plus, and like right off the bat too. I didn't even have to be reminded.
Well, no, when you guys, and I don't know what your definition of success is, but I absolutely know your story, Jake, specifically, and I know you guys have come along with Jake, but it's from where you started to where you're at. If you're not the most successful radio show ever, I don't know what is. But yeah, no, this is outstanding.
Thanks,
yeah, you guys do a great job. So I appreciate you having me on one last time. I know I'm about to make some life changes. So thanks for having me here. Thanks for letting me be a part of it. And I'm excited to maybe talk sports for an hour.
Oh, maybe we'll figure it out.
We'll talk something for an hour, right?
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
What was it, like episode 5 we had you at, or
yeah,
or it was a early.
This is actually. Let me put this camera just on you here, Fred. I'm gonna. Oh, it's wrong.
That's
side.
not Fred.
Similar to the.
We were just audio only last time, so I want ladies especially just drink that in right there. That's a pretty fresh haircut, I'd say.
That's about a week and a half in.
A week and a half. So for me, that's pretty fresh. I usually go about once a month.
Fresh.
So
it's about 4 days old right here.
That's good though. That's real good.
High and tight.
High and tight. That's important.
I am not wearing. This is a Nirvana, which is similar to Old Ball Yard. Check them out, oldballyard.com.
I got to be honest. That shirt doesn't look nearly as comfortable, and I think it might shrink a little bit.
This is also a 60-40 blend. I only wear the cotton poly blends, guys.
Here I am trying to talk them up.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I have I have a couple of those, and a Bob Ross T-shirt that's phenomenal.
Bob Ross
or Dave Ross. What's the painter guy?
That's
it's Bob Ross. Yeah,
Bob
it's Bob
Ross.
Ross.
I was right.
I think Dave Ross played a little minor league ball in the '80s. He was good though. He got up and down a few times.
A cup of tea in the majors. Is it a cup of tea? I think it's a cup of coffee.
It's a cup of coffee. A cup of tea is if you live in England.
Yeah, and you just have a short stint in the professional cricket league.
Yes. And a can of corn is a pop fly.
Can of corn is a pop fly. I like
For
this.
some.
Anything else? Any other food references to sports?
Matt Adams out in left field, not a can of corn.
Never. Speaking of, let's talk about some of that. Cardinals traded Matt Adams. Anybody surprised?
He was going to go for somebody soon. He needed playing time. He wanted playing time, and I think the time was ready to move on from him. There wasn't any spots here for him.
It kind of reminded me of Moneyball when Billy Beane was feuding with the manager, because they were like Matheny's trying to play this guy, keep Adams in the lineup, and he has too many guys, and it reminded me of when he was like, all right, I'm just going to trade him. Now you have to play these guys.
All right, Pena.
Stop.
All right, Pena, you're gone.
And that's a very romantic description of it. But what I might believe is Piscotty was coming back. You have to make a move, obviously, and your middle relief specifically, and the tail end of the bullpen's not great at this moment. So you don't want to send anyone down that you don't have to send down. And then with Freddie Freeman going down, I guess he's going to be out
10 weeks. It sounds like.
Oh, is it 10 weeks already?
At least 2 months, they said.
So this is going to give Matt Adams the best chance to play every day and become the pro that I believe he can be. I think he's an outstanding dude. And the Atlanta Cardinals of Braves, which if you've looked at the roster, it's all former Cardinals now.
Yeah, Shelby.
Yeah.
They had Shelby. Had
Garcia's there now.
Not Shelby. He got traded. Garcia. Yeah. And then,
but they got him loaded up there. But it's I don't know. It's the only move that for real I think made sense with, like I said, with the additions we had, and then sending Sierra back down, which was, I mean, you kind of had to do it. I don't think Johnny Peralta is going to do anything at this level, but no. Matt Adams, good for you, man. But he'll play every day.
And I think that was the only other move that they had a possible chance to do to make would be a DFA Peralta and put him on waivers. I think that was the only other move at the time that they had an option to do, and of course now he's played in about 3 games straight, so that's not what I want to see either.
He was batting 1,000 for a while there.
Yeah.
And, 3 at-bats, but it's worth something.
Yeah, I think the only other option, keeping Adams around a little longer, is if you decided towards the trade deadline to go out and get a third baseman and maybe package him in there, use him. I don't know how much his value would have been, but you would have to obviously throw in some prospects, but put him in there with that deal. And maybe package Peralta in that too. I was thinking a team like Tampa Bay for Longoria. That's still possible.
Yeah, I don't think your mindset's wrong at all. I think instead of third base though, it's a first baseman, because I think you have a third baseman. He's playing first base.
Yeah.
So what I think you do is you move Matt Carpenter over to third, and then you're trying to find a guy who weighs too much and hits the ball too hard, similar to Matt Adams, who you can put at first base and just let him go up there and strike out a ton of times, but. I don't know, but hit 30 dingers and maybe crack 100 if he gets good, but strike out 115 times and you live with it.
So you think that if Matt Adams hadn't have gotten really good shape, we'd still be on the team? Is that what we're saying?
Oh, go Fish. I don't know.
Is there a guy out there that rings a bell for that first base spot that would fill.
Well, I mean, was it last off season, 2 off season? Crash Davis. I mean, he was the one where you're like, yeah. I mean, we can get someone who can come in and play first and has done it for a long time. I think Mark Trumbo's name was rumored for a while, but I don't think he's going to make any moves anytime soon.
Well, both issues are on the same team that's contending right now, so I think that's one of the problems.
Well, and I mean, so there it is. That proves there's the formula, isn't it? Like, I mean, you get guys that can just smash the ball, and you let them smash the ball. No, they're not the best in the field, and but it's not that league anymore. And although I think it's trending that way, which if you guys want to go down that conversation, we will. But young, fast, athletic, I think the league's going to become that, specifically with the NFL and how at a young age it's dangerous now, and kids don't want to play and parents don't want them to play. Your really good athletes are no longer going to go that direction. They're going to go back to baseball for the first time in probably 30 or 40 years. Yeah. And I think there's going to be a resurgence, but it's not there yet. It's still just dudes who can swing the stick.
Yeah, they said Little League numbers are up now, so that's
absolutely
are. Yeah, it's starting.
That's because Little League football's way down as of right now. It'll be.
Oh yeah, Pop Warner's now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and you look at the guys who know, and the guys who know are ABC, and ABC Disney knows because ESPN's putting the effort into covering the Little League sports, and Under Armour and these companies are putting the effort into putting money into these things, and they're going to capture kids early, and it's going to be fun to play, and it's going to be popular to play again. And Bryce Harper is going to become a Yankee, and that's going to inspire a million kids to try to play center field in New York. Well, and that's what's going to happen. And we're already seeing it now with the association, which and I didn't mean to get off topic here, but for the first time since LeBron came in. Instead of me pushing down the air every time I score a big basket, now I'm going to put my mouthpiece outside my mouth because Steph Curry's the guy. And you start getting those guys. You get those guys that can be the kind of the focal point of not just your teams in your league, but your league itself. You're going to inspire the youth to follow in those footsteps. And I think the NFL, which I know we plan on talking about in a little bit, I think they're in a real tough spot because they're going to lose their best athletes and they're going to lose them back to baseball. And they've already proven to be going to basketball. So it's a neat time for sports. There's a big evolution right now.
That's exciting. I'm always a little, I guess nostalgic is not the right word, because maybe it is, but like the 80s Cardinals, when everybody's Lou Brock and everybody's stealing bases, everything. I never really got to see that, so it'd be awesome to see people running around the bases. We saw it a little bit with Sierra and Fam running around a little bit.
That's where you get excited. You get guys come up from the minors that are excited to be up here and aren't getting the opportunity. And that's what Tommy Pham was going to do the first couple of weeks he comes up. It's just whether it's sustainable. And I think he's going to get a chance. Jose Martinez maybe on the short end of the stick come roster time whenever he's ready to come. I don't know. I don't think he's back yet, is he?
No. I don't think so. Which is unfortunate because he was playing really well.
He's playing good too, but whenever there's a guy up here already playing well, they're going to keep him. And Jose lost his chance by going to the DL, I think.
In that formula you're talking about, it's been proven not just recently, but micro recently. Like the Chicago Cubs of last year, that's an energetic team. That's a fun, excitable team. 2 years ago, the Kansas City Royals, they ran the bases. They did it the old school way. They produced runs that way. And we can even jump a little bit further back, go to some of those Tampa Bay Rays teams and some of those really young teams. That style of baseball is going to be played because it's found success.
And I think you have a team not as to the point, but they're very young. Houston Astros of this year right now, very young. You got Correa and Altuve, pretty much the same type of players. Very exciting to watch. And also, if you go to the National League, Colorado Rockies also have a pretty young lineup as well. So, two exciting teams. They can hit the shit out of the ball. Colorado can and Houston. So.
Yeah, I'm always excited to watch. Even though I hate watching Cincinnati play, I'm always excited to watch Billy Hamilton run the bases. And even play center field and run balls down that you think nobody else has a chance to get, and he just makes it a routine play. So speed's always fun to watch.
Yeah, it's in any sport, but specifically baseball, and it's such a pretty sport. It's the only one where the defense has the ball. Like, I mean, it's so unique to what it does, and I love it because I'm from St. Louis. But like, I love the idea of young kids that don't necessarily have Major League Baseball, and you guys know about it. I'm a big advocate of minor league baseball and independent league baseball, and I've been all around the country and seen dozens of stadiums, and when you get like a small group of kids there with their gloves hanging over the wall eating a $1 hot dog on a crisp Friday, that's a good night. And that gravitates to kids.
Paid $5 to get in.
Yeah,
it's all about the fans. It's fun. I love minor league ball better than I do going to major league.
Oh, it's the best. Yeah. You're in it for the entertainment value, and like you just said, if you can go there and you can get your Boy Scout like sash, a medal, whatever you get, like you're doing that. That's the night out. So. Yeah, baseball's in good hands right now. The Cardinals, and obviously Fox Sports Midwest, their money's about to kick in next season? Question mark.
2018, yes.
Yep. Yeah, so they're going to be in a point where it's going to be fun to watch them try to woo Bryce Harper. It's going to be fun to watch them try to woo Mike Trout. It's not going to happen.
No.
I mean,
Oh, no.
neither of those bodies are going to appear. But it's going to be fun conversation.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun off-season talk, and that's what the league needs. Is it needs year-round coverage in a way that people are excited about it. And because the money's so great and because the attractions are so great, they're going to have it now. And in my opinion, they haven't had it in, 95, 96, 97?
Steroids era.
Yeah. Well, McGuire saved it in 98.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right.
And I think, what does it happen every third or fourth year? But the World Baseball Classic kicking off the season, I think is good for the league. And now, whether or not you have a couple guys that got hurt going into it, whether it's good for every team per se, depending on how the outcomes come when you don't have these guys in camp that you may need in camp. But for the majority, it's a very good experience for MLB and for all of baseball.
Well, and that Puerto Rico team, right? So I mean, they played ball a way that I, at 32 years old, have never watched ball be played. I've never watched a guy snag one out of the dirt at third after he slides to his right, jump to his knees, fire it to first, and then give that fist pump. Because the mindset has always been you had to be there before. You've done this before. Don't show it up. And this Puerto Rico team, they don't care. They love it. Yeah. Molina's, oh my God. So you're trying to take a base on Molina. He fires it down the second. The tag is applied without looking. You're cheering.
He's already pissed.
I'm there. Yes, I'm not on the field with you, but if I'm not with you, I'm with you.
It reminds me a lot of in 7th grade. I played on, obviously I'm not comparing my 7th grade baseball team to Team Puerto Rico, but it's like when you're in 7th grade and you're 12 and you're fucking excited. The game is fun. It's not like a profession. Be professional.
They're taking the old man sport and make it a young man's game now.
Yeah.
They're making it fun, And I mean, you can say what you will about Joey Bat's bat flip down 4 runs.
Oh, I
after
love it.
Smashing. I like it. I like chippiness.
But you also have to be okay with him getting thrown at next at bat. But that's fine.
But
I'm okay with that too.
And it looks like there are a lot of people trying to weed that shit out now because it's a different game.
They're trying, but I think in the past week and a half, there's been more benches clearing, whether anything happens. But there's been about 6 or 7 of them in the past week and a half. So
Clayton Kershaw
it's
just
still
threw
happening.
it Stanton. So.
Well, and like I said, I think following the formula of the association, you're going to start seeing some changes with uniforms. You're going to start seeing youth and exuberance come into the game that has not necessarily been there. And specifically, guys can't do steroids anymore. Guys can't do these enhancers anymore. They won't play into their 40s like they used to. They'll play into their mid-30s if they're good enough to play into their mid-30s. Otherwise, it's going to become a young man's game, just like the association has, just like the NFL is. And you're going to get guys who are excited to be there and know they have to go as hard as they can to stay there because they were the young guy that just took a job and their job's going to be taken very quickly. So it's an exciting time for specifically professional sports, but baseball, yes.
What do you think about all the new rules to try to speed up the game? You think that'll help as well?
It's stupid. I think it's stupid.
Yeah. I don't even notice that clock. I go to Busch Stadium. I know it's there. I don't notice it.
I see it, and it's gone in like 3 seconds. I saw it go down to about 5 twice at the game, and that was it. I mean, it's not used.
You're shaving 3 to 5 minutes off a 3-hour game. It's not noticeable. Nobody cares. Just leave it alone. That's all I say.
I mean, it takes the same amount of time for the ump to start his walk out there at 3 seconds and turn back around than to just let him go another 4 or 5 seconds on the mound.
Well, and I think the 20 seconds between pitches is cool, I guess. I mean, I think it's better for the batter than the pitcher. It's going to speed that up. But, yeah, you're right. Putting up 4 fingers and sending the guy to first, that saves, I don't know.
Yeah, that's actually a very smart rule.
That saves a minute, I guess. What I hate, though, if we want to go into that path, is I hate instant replay. No one's more against instant replay than me. We were watching the game the other night, and there's a play for me and you were out, and we're having an adult beverage, and we're watching the game. There's a play at first, and it's at the very end of the game, and I think it's Brandon Belt, and he stretches at first, and Mike Matheny comes out, and he's like, hey, we're going to challenge that. I know it's the 27th out, whatever, but we're going to
we have one,
Yeah, you just took my excitement level low, bro. I mean, it sucks that my team lost. I want to feel that. But now for all of a sudden I have to hold my breath. No.
We might have another bat.
Now, the whole automatic walk like softball, the only thing that really took away was that Chipper Jones home run off a potential walk, got too close. He stepped over.
Guerrera had one too.
Miguel Cabrera had
and then there was the one with Tony Pena was the catcher. And there was 2 strikes on the batter, and he hips up like he's gonna throw the 4 balls, and then he drills it down the middle, and he's like all excited and shit. You lose that, but I mean, do you lose anything else? I mean, that's rare that any of that shit happens. So it's whatever.
Did you see the other night where bases loaded? I think the Angels are chasing 3. Mike Trout's up to bat, and who are they playing? I'm drawing it. It doesn't matter. So they're playing anyways, and the opposing manager is like almost walked him. I mean, I know we got that 3, but I mean, this is Mike Trout we're talking about.
Right.
His WAR is 30.
Yeah, that's like when Bonds was on his streak, they'd walk in with the bases
Yeah.
loaded.
But Bruce Bochy, is that who it was? I don't know.
The Angels.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know my computer in front of me. But
Oh, they had the Rays. What was recently? I believe.
The Expos? No.
No, I don't think the Angels were playing the Expos.
But yeah, that's I don't know the dynamic. There's strategy in the game, but it's a simple game, man. It's I don't know, throw strikes.
Well, they played the Rays last
Pitching and
night, so the
defense.
Mets would have been this past
Might have been the
weekend.
Mets.
Derek Collins,
The last time I did radio was the weekend, so probably before then.
Do you guys? Does anybody play Beat the Streak in here?
I have in the past. I do not know.
Some gentleman from Boston, I forget his name, but he just he didn't get the 56, but he got like the new record or whatever. He got 51 in a row.
It's pretty good.
That was pretty cool. I heard an interview with him on the way up here.
What do you get for it?
If you get 56, or if you get 57, I guess, then you get
5.6 mil.
Yeah,
right?
$5.6 million.
51-0?
You get
Like 10,000.
no, it is. It's 10,000. The longest streak of the year
Oh, well, that's
is
good then.
10,000. So he's still gonna make 10,000.
I've creeped on
Not
like
bad.
22 or 23 once.
I've never
and
made it double digits. I don't think.
Oh, I for certain. When
terrible.
I was doing it regularly, I for certain did. But
I'm about to start doing it again though.
I mean,
I've
I
never
would,
done it before.
I would get to like 12 or 14 every once in a
Regularly.
while, but then I got to like that 22, 23, and I just couldn't do it. Pressure got to me. I'm like,
That's
I'm
what
not
he
even,
was saying.
I'm not even close, but
He was saying he got he was feeling the pressure, like he was actually on a hit streak. He started making some decisions that he didn't normally think were the best decisions, but he overthought it, looked too much into the analytics of it and everything.
it's the same thing with Streak with the Cash too. I mean, I get like a dub 13,
I'm
and
even
I'm
worse
like,
on those.
ooh, and then next thing you know, I lose 7 or 8 in a row. I'm like, okay, well,
I'm always trying to pick some soccer game that comes on at 4 in the morning.
oh, wait, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's where
beat the streak
Oh,
is
no,
where you
that's my
you
mistake.
have to pick. You have the choice of picking 1 or 2 hitters a night. They got to get a hit, and so if you pick 2, you get 2 points, and you got to get to 56.
I don't know that life.
MLB beat the streak.
Yeah, it's
MLB.com.
free. And if you beat Joe DiMaggio's hit streak, you get $5.6 million, or whatever that is after taxes.
Dollars.
Not bad.
Bitcoin.
Dollars. Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Well, you can go to jail for that. That guy's in jail. 2 life sentences.
Oh, joy.
Oops.
All
So,
right.
what else we got?
I kind of wanted to go. This is going to be kind of an inside thing between me and you and Fred, but maybe you could
inside baseball. Okay. Yeah.
maybe you could fill everybody else in. Where are we at on the Chesterfield baseball team?
Well, that's not
what-
public knowledge,
what it-
actually.
oh, it does say that?
We're not going down that road.
Oh,
right
sorry. Never mind. I'll edit that out. I
Yeah.
won't. We're live, but
now. Yeah, no.
Never mind.
That is literally nothing.
literally nothing.
Our
was nothing.
one viewer, Steve.
No, that one viewer's me.
Oh, it's you?
But this will be. Just forget I said that. you know.
Yeah, no, that's nothing.
My
at
bad.
all.
Yeah, there's nothing going on.
I don't
there.
even know what you're
Okay.
talking about.
That's
Are you
okay.
talking about the top golf that they're building out in Chesterfield? Is
I
that
was
what you're
talking about the
I would love to play golf out there.
the Preakness Stakes that just happened.
Oh, so the Preakness Stakes. Yeah.
that's
Was
what I
that this weekend?
Yes, it was this weekend. So, unfortunately, we do not have a Triple Crown coming to us this year, going to Belmont in New York and Elmont, New York. But we did have an exciting race. We did have an exciting race on Saturday. Always Dreaming, who won the Kentucky Derby, went out to the lead. Won pretty impressively in the slop on Derby Day. I didn't think it was a fluke that he won that race, but at the same time, I thought there was a little bit of with all the mud kicking back, and he had the lead the entire time, that there might not have been as much running at him in the Derby. So I figured with Classic Empire coming back in the Preakness, there was going to be a little bit more coming at him, and it showed. 23-46 on the backstretch. Classic Empire was neck and neck with him the whole way. Always Dreaming pretty much dropped out top of the stretch. He ended up finishing 8th. Classic Empire looked at the top of the stretch to be your stone cold winner. Horse Cloud Computing, who sat out the Kentucky Derby,
He was rested.
lightly raced 3-year-old, 6 weeks off versus 2 weeks off, caught Classic Empire on the wire. Classic Empire holds on for second, obviously, and then Senior Investment and Looking at Lucky finished out your superfecta. So going into the Belmont, does not sound like Always Dreaming, the Kentucky Derby winner, or Cloud Computing, your Preakness winner. Either of them are going to be in the Belmont Stakes. So
does that take the luster out of
takes
the
a
stakes
little
bit?
luster that there's no Triple Crown, and neither of the winners are probably going to go. But at the same time, Classic Empire, 4th in the Derby. He was your Breeders' Cup Juvenile winner last year, and he looks to be going to the Belmont. So I think he's probably going to be your post-time favorite. There is a horse called Epicharis, I believe it's pronounced, coming from Japan. A lot of excitement built around this horse. So there is going to be a little bit of an unknown factor. It'd probably be your second choice. And then looking at Lee, who ran third and then fourth, and the Preakness is also going to go. So there's still a little bit of excitement. We have 2.5 weeks to build that up, though. So everybody be ready on the second week of June to get fired up for the Beaumont Stakes.
I can't wait for that.
Was it the Preakness that you said was the number 2 or 3 party?
Preakness,
atmospheres?
absolutely.
Yeah.
You can go look at videos. We'll actually post them to our From Under the Bleachers Facebook page after the show. There's multiple videos of people. It's called the running of the toilets, I believe they call it. They run on the Johnny and the Spots on the roofs and then try to jump the gap and stay on them. And one girl attempted to do it, and she did a little Superman towards it and smoked her face on the top of the roof.
This sounds like a great idea.
It was classic. So then that usually happens once or twice a year. You see people getting recorded falling off. The falling off happens throughout the day, but the people that actually get recorded and go on social media and become famous for that happens about once or twice a year. So it was, once again, another big party in the Preakness. Nice weather this time. I believe the past couple of years they've had a lot of rain, which is just even more of a shit show. But I'm excited. It was a good race. Another good Preakness. So on to the Belmont.
Cool. You want to give guys like maybe a quick, like maybe not your favorite bet, but like the best odds maybe, or you want to save that?
Like I said, I think Classic Empire will be the favorite. He's going to be tough to beat. I think he can handle the 1.5 miles. I did like Gunnevera, who finished, I believe, 4th or 5th, and I believe finished 5th, but bled in the Preakness, so he will not be in the Belmont. That would have been my pick. So I'm going to look at looking at Lee to be your probably 6 to 7 to 1 third choice. And we'll go to price. Horse has been closing ground in both the Derby and the Preakness. You get to extend to 1.5 miles. Looking at Lee.
You heard it here first.
What was the was it 13 to 1? Is that what his odds were Saturday?
Yeah, I believe Cloud Computer either 13 or 16, but I think it was 13.
I think I saw the Perfecta was paying out like 65 to 1 or something. It was something crazy. If you'd have hit it, which obviously I don't feel like very anyone hit it if they did, but like yeah, that's where the money was.
Well, the money came from the third place horse, 31 to 1 shot.
Yeah.
Senior investment. I couldn't have had him if you'd have gave me 9 horses. I probably wouldn't have picked him in the top 9. There was only 10 in there. So, don't know where he came from, but the race kind of fell apart up top, and he jumped up for third. So, fun fact, one more. Georgie Carino was riding the 10 Conquest Mo Money. I believe he ended up falling back for 7th, but he was up there at the beginning. Just as much as about 4 years ago, he was riding down at Fairmount Park.
Oh, nice.
So good to see a former Fairmount Park jockey get in one of these big races. He actually came from Turf Paradise in Arizona, so this horse really wasn't from one of those big tracks. So if 7th, you're not going to get any money back for it, but it was exciting to see. He may be going to the Belmont too. So.
What about was it Patch, the horse with one eye?
Will be back in the Belmont. It looks like he's under strong consideration. They said so. He gets another outside post. Won't see anybody inside of him. Let's see how he does on a clean track.
Well, but isn't that a thing? Like I was listening because the program I'm on going over on 590 The Fan, we went down to the Derby, went down to Kentucky Derby the week of or whatever, and I guess there was big chatter about running with your head sideways and how it kind of messes up. But I guess horses have been running with one eye for centuries.
Forever,
I guess.
yeah.
I have no idea. But I guess this horse does it exceptionally to where like instead of running with the slanted head that I guess has really deterred horses, he runs with a pretty straight on approach, which I guess he knows no different. He was born this way. It wasn't like a lost eye or whatever.
Yeah.
But I guess they were saying that it does give him an advantage that necessarily horses with one eye have never had.
In the difference, so he has his right eye, doesn't have his left eye.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's on the inside, it's going to be tough. You're going to be able to see those horses anyway. But if you're coming from the outside, you're not going to be able to see any of those horses. So usually I would assume, I haven't seen how those horses run, but they'll probably try and take him from the outside most of the time just so he doesn't know what's on his inside. And you can't tell if anybody's passing you until they're 10 yards in front of you. So
It's like the best blinders to have on a horse.
Yeah.
Just take his eye out.
Just poke his eyes out.
and there's been plenty that we've never had a blind horse or without an eye, but we did have one that was missing a front tooth. So he was a real pretty winner. Always got picked by the fans.
Yeah.
So
Like Isaiah Thomas, right?
yeah, definitely.
So they start at Fremont. They're running there yet, or what?
Well, it's Fairmont.
Fairmont.
And yes, they did.
Fremont's a casino, isn't it?
My dad
Somewhere.
had 2 horses running today. Ran a 2nd and a 5th. So all right, day. We'll take it.
My favorite part about going down to the horse track is it's $20 and you get all the appetizers. and then beers are like $1.
I remember when it was 13. I won't pay 20.
Oh, I absolutely will pay 20. I will pay 20, and I will go up there and I will make my $20 bet, and I will go sit down, and then I will see you in a couple hours.
Yeah, I tend to make my $40 bets and pay $3 a beer, and sit in that little comfy seat underneath the tent by the paddock right there.
Well, you got a better life than me.
Man, you got to go big. If you're going to go down there and bet and try to make money, you got to come with a big bankroll.
No, I don't want to make money. I want free apps.
And you know what? Hey, then in that
Food.
case, free apps.
It's so every piece of food they put on that table is the same color, but some of it's fruit and some of it's meat and some of it's
Yeah, it's like
It's all
toasted
pink.
rab, mott sticks,
Yeah.
and then your cantaloupe also looks like it was fried too.
how did you do this?
Is that pineapple? Nope, that's a Vienna sausage.
So, this Saturday they will be having a party at the park down there. So if you guys are a little bored, go ahead and come on down to Fairmount Park. I'll be down there. I do not have any horses running down there. My dad, I should say, does not have any horses running down there. So I will be focusing on the gambling portion of it. And maybe if a few of you'd like to come down there, I'll put out my picks
When's
on
that start
Friday.
at 3 o'clock?
Saturday they start at 7:30.
Oh,
And
that's late.
Yeah, Saturday night racing, Tuesday 1 o'clock horse hooky,
okay.
and then next Tuesday they will not be running because they're running 1 p.m. start on Memorial Day. So if you guys do not have anything going on for the holidays, come on down.
Well, there you go.
Well, I was thinking, I know it's a gambling place, and you can't have cameras in certain areas or whatever, but a little FUTB.
Yeah, you
Little
can
time?
have cameras pretty much everywhere
Can
at
you?
Fairmont.
Is-
We're not up to Churchill Downs and all those
Well,
guys' standards.
I was saying, we'll
All you got to
make
do is
AJ
say,
tote the camera around and do a little video.
yeah, come on down
Do the girls wear crazy hats?
on Derby Day.
Do
I'm out.
Do the boys?
I need it all the time. I need that kind of commitment from
Okay.
every race.
Well, they don't do it at other tracks either.
I'll wear an
Just on
oversized
Derby
hat
Day.
if you want me to.
I've been down there primarily with groups, but there's a lot of fun and sitting down with, and these guys are always willing because they're so passionate about the people in attendance, the fans, the bettors, and often it's the brothers, and they've been betting on it for 20 or 30 years, and they will have these stories and they'll have these angles and approaches, and you just soak it in, man. You sponge that stuff up.
Oh, I've been doing it since I was 3 years old. That's
Yeah.
whenever I first went down there. At least when I first remember going down there. So I've soaked up many different strategies,
Yeah.
and I've built my own through it. It works sometimes, it doesn't work others, but I have a lot of friends that do call me for picks, and I got my buddy 3 wins today. So shout out to Todd Corvus. We shout out Todd a few times on the show. He got us a couple free beers. Shout out for
Oh,
that
yeah.
last Tuesday too,
Yeah.
Todd.
Thanks, Todd.
That's all it takes. Is
Yeah,
free
Todd.
beer.
Yeah.
He got us a couple free beers at Ballpark, so those were $8 beers.
God, I do really well at ballpark. I don't know. I need more shout outs.
It's really easy to win my friendship.
Wow.
I was down there the other day. Actually, I went down to hung out at ballpark for a couple hours. My buddy Tony Caradonna, he's the beer man. He runs the whole thing. And I'm down there talking to him, and he's like, "Yeah, here's what's going on at Fox Sports Midwest." He's like, "Let's go up to the balcony." He's like, "Let's look over." Oh, Todd Thomas is down there. There's a guy running around with and do some. He's that one guy at Cardinals games. So I run around with him a lot. And before I know it, I've had several beers. Like I haven't got my wallet out one time. I was like, "It's a good little day."
That's the way to do it.
The girl I was
Absolutely.
with, super impressed. Idiot. She's so dumb.
Good thing she won't be listening to this one.
Yeah. Until I tag her in the video.
Try.
What is this? Check out minute 33.
Hey,
Yeah, tag it.
you know
Don't
me,
check
though.
out minute 22 though about that Top Golf that's coming.
No,
up.
yeah.
Top
Stop.
golf is going to be.
That is
That's a big
stricken.
deal.
that has
It
been
is
stricken
supposed to
from
be
the
coming up.
record.
What after they tear down that ice rink? I don't know if the progress is on, but it sounds like sometime maybe late next year it should be up and running.
There you go.
Cool.
Top Golf
I've
Chesterfield.
never golfed in my life.
Really?
Yeah, but this is actually fun.
Oh, okay.
You don't need to bring your own clubs.
I've
You're
been to a golf course, but what I did wasn't golfing. I don't know. It was, I mean, that's what the golfers don't call it.
I
that.
mostly trimmed the grass
Yeah.
and put some divots in the ground.
Yes.
I've done many a fundraiser, I've emceed, have microphone, will travel kind of guy, I've done many, but I've never one time got out there and be like, I think I'll swing this club.
Yeah.
No, that's not my life.
My goal is to find more balls than I lose.
Yeah, it's always a good goal.
Yeah, I always go out there and, it's always a huge slice into the bushes or whatever, and I'm in there and I'm like, oh, I'm going to find about 3. And they're not mine, all 3 of them. And then I'll come out, okay, I got 3.
You'd
Go
have
to
been
the next hole. So
in
I-
heaven because all the rain. We were down at Gateway a couple weeks ago, and pouring down rain there. You could just see all the tall grass just completely empty. There was probably 30, 40 balls each little corner we passed. I'm like, wow, people are bad.
Yeah. That'd be me.
I don't feel like I've ever heard anywhere, even been you hear fishing stories all the time about how great fish, like, wow, I caught this fish, I did. I never hear guys talk about just how great of golfers they are. No one ever says that. It's always, yeah, man, I play all the time and I'm terrible.
Yeah, it's a tough fucking sport, man. It looks easy. You just, like Robin Williams said, you just a little fucking stick and a little ball, and you're like, fucking hit it.
I find enjoyment by having 3 other people on my team. I like 4-man scrambles.
Mm-hmm.
I tend not to have as much fun when I go on my own. It's just not.
I can putt like a motherfucker, though. You put it anywhere on that green, I'll 2-putt it.
I'll 2-putt it.
Yeah.
You put it anywhere.
It could be 40 feet away, 2-putt. It could be 2 feet away, 2-putt. But damn, I'll get it in there in 2 putts. My mini golf days.
Cool.
Pretty good
What
there.
do we think about the 19th hole, the overtime rules in the NFL?
Oh, that was good segue. That's
wow.
so they're gonna lower it to 10 minutes. Thankfully, because I tell you what, by about minute 9 of overtime, I've stopped watching about 8 minutes ago. So I don't.
Well,
unless it's like
it depends
team
if
I
it's
really care
a
about.
3 o'clock start game, and
Yeah.
I've been at the bar for 5 hours now. I'm already fading out.
Yeah, I'm usually moving on to the next game at that point.
Calling the wife, telling her I think I'm gonna stay for a little bit longer, and I'm gonna need a ride soon.
And if it's Sunday, Monday, or Thursday night football, I've probably gone to bed before the fourth quarter even started anyway. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's a good idea.
I don't think it's going to make a big of a difference. I mean, usually overtime's won in the first 2 possessions. Either the guy goes down, kicks field goal, they stop him, or they get a touchdown. Rarely does it go back. I mean, we had a couple this year that went back and forth and had a tie. But that extra 5 minutes, I don't think it's going to
I
matter.
don't know. The Bengals don't have Mike Nugent this year, so
Yeah,
maybe they
that's
have
true.
a kicker and Jacob Elliott that might be able to make a few field goals. We'll
Well,
see.
What you... Sorry.
I was just going to speak on Elliott. If I remember, where did he go to college?
Memphis
And I remember, he sent Memphis into like multiple overtime
against
games, didn't he?
BYU
Oh,
to
I remember
the
that.
Miami Beach Bowl 2 years ago, which is now turned into the No Beach Bowl in Frisco, Texas. But they did get in a fight on field
Yeah, I
after
remember
the
that.
game.
Yeah.
And I believe Memphis ended up winning that game.
Go Fish.
But who won the fight?
Who do you think, Memphis or BYU? Memphis
I
won
don't know.
the fight.
BYU had God on their side or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Well,
Sunday.
probably a lot of Samoans though, so they're like
Yeah, I mean,
big.
yeah, but Memphis
Racial comment there? I don't know.
turned into a street fight. Memphis won that pretty easily. So that's exciting though.
Yeah,
What are the-
coaches will coach it differently. Less time, they'll coach it differently. Maybe that one possession they go for it on 4th down a little bit more or whatever, knowing that after that first possession, you're probably not going to get the ball back. So that might be the only difference that you see. But I don't think it's going to really
The
matter.
4th and 2 from the 25, they might be trying to score that touchdown to end it.
But either way, 15-minute, 10-minute overtime, you're shaving off, a handful of plays. In the grand scheme, does it matter? A team may go to overtime once during the season.
But it's not for end results, guys. And don't get it twisted.
It's for safety. I get
That's
it.
not even for safety, man. It's for the game starts at noon, and they want to get you over to the 3:15 game.
Yeah.
So they have to
Yeah.
finish this game
Yeah.
because they promised sponsorship dollars to certain advertisers for a national audience at this time, and Fox is sweating it because this game's going. You cut off 5 football minutes is 15 real life minutes. So you cut off 5 football minutes, you get that game transferred in time, and we got to figure it out. Yeah, we got you Chevy, Ford. Is it Ford? I don't know who it is.
It's all about the dollar. It is.
Yeah,
You're
I mean
right.
that's what it is. Like, don't think it has anything to player safety.
They don't give a fuck about. They don't give a fuck about player
Player
safety.
No, you lose a backup linebacker on special teams and extra. Don't worry, BYU just gave me another linebacker. I'll just go get that one.
Yeah.
He finally just got out of jail from that fight on the field a couple years ago. Ready to go. Bengals actually are probably looking for him right about
No,
now.
I'm sure. The Bengals and the Cowboys are fighting it out.
The Bengals, no one gets in trouble with the Bengals anymore. They haven't had a guy arrested. They're the only team in the NFL last year to not have a guy arrested. Put that in perspective.
How about like 2 weeks after the season, Pac-Man Jones?
Yeah, Pac-Man
So's
had a
life.
little issue. Yeah. He doesn't count.
So,
Pac-Man, you expect him to.
they got through the season. Actually, the Raiders are the most behaved team. They haven't had an arrest in about 3 years.
There they go.
Yeah, but if you go back to 5, like it just depends on the sample size.
They filled their quota.
Jack Del Rio, hey, have your fun, but don't end up in jail. That's the way to
Yeah.
go.
And then what are the new celebration rules too?
They relaxed the group celebration, so you can celebrate with your teammates. You can use the ball.
so they can high five now. That's
Yeah.
good. Thank God.
You can use the ball as a prop, but you can't twerk. You can't.
The Dirty Bird is back.
And I don't
in
think you
Atlanta.
can pretend you're pooping the ball out either. I think that's the only one you can't do with the ball.
But we can spin the ball and all that. Look, we're around the
like
campfire
it's,
again.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Excellent.
you could probably do. Was it the
None of
Redskins
none
that
of
did the bomb?
shootiness.
Or
None of that one either.
yeah. The bowling. What movie was that?
The replacements, I believe.
Snow Angels are back. There was some
Yeah.
confusion.
Yeah, you go to the ground and
you can go to the
celebrate.
ground.
Yep.
So that's a big deal.
that's cool that they did that because the NFL took away some of the entertainment. They forgot that they're entertainers. When Chad Johnson grabbed that Hall of Fame jacket, man, that shit was so fun. Like, what is he gonna do next?
And here's
they
where
took that shit away.
Marvin Lewis came out and said it's going to ruin it for young people that the celebration is back. And I said, do you recall having Chad Johnson and Terrell Owens on your team for 2 years running and having the most probably outrageous celebrations of all time? And you just sat there and, okay, guys, good one. That was funny. So Marvin Lewis probably shouldn't be speaking out about any of this.
Victor Cruz right now is the host of the Challenge on MTV, and it's because he celebrates in the end zone. It's not because he catches more yards than anyone. It's
Is he not signed by? I guess it was in the off season.
So, but that's what I'm saying though. Like if you want NFL to make that transition across, like, this is inside baseball, that 360 approach to putting your product out there, you have to have your product be approachable. You have to have your product be acceptable. And Victor Cruz is on the Challenge because Victor Cruz salsas.
I got one more reason why he's on. I don't think there's any more popular enough BMXers to host it.
You mean alive?
Well, Dave Meir is dead, but after TJ, I can't remember his last name, whatever. After him, who else would be there? I mean, you
I have
get
no
like
idea what the show even is.
Maybe.
You guys are
It's
over-
outstanding.
It's a
great.
Road Rules. It used to be
Real Road Rules Challenge.
Well,
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
okay.
not even. So they don't have road rules.
Road Rules
anymore?
doesn't
It
hasn't
used to
existed.
be. That's what it
It
started.
started
okay.
with people on Road
If-
Rules or Real World.
Yeah, I
If you're
gotcha.
gonna get into it, this is the season to start. By the way, it's
The
one
champs
episode
and the
in.
pros.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's all the former Challenge champions, which is cool. Like, there's a lot of personality there.
Is the Miz in there?
Well, I love the Miz, and actually, I'll tell you a side note here in a story. But CM Punk is on it, which is I'm a huge mark for. But then it's all these pro athletes. So you get like Lolo Jones is on there, and she's she's
Yeah,
my
she's-
fuck Pete. Like,
she's-
this is a
she's-
girl I'm in love with, and but it's excellent, man. It's like Survivor, but it's only the competition part, and it's really good. But funny story about the Miz real quick. So Mike Mizzioni, I think is his name,
Yep.
and the Miz is just the biggest WWE star in the whole world, and I'm a quote unquote friend of the WWE and do a lot of stuff with him. And he years ago was on the Real World, and then he was on the Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So when he was on the Challenge, what he had done was, and you'll love this, Jacob, because I just gave you a T-shirt. He created and printed and designed all these T-shirts, and he brought them to the show. And then he gave out all the T-shirts to everyone on the show, and everyone on the show was wearing the T-shirts. And then there was only one website where you could go and buy the T-shirts you were seeing on TV. It was Mike's website. So Mike,
marketer, man.
Yeah. Oh,
He's a
super
genius.
smart.
Yeah.
Fucking smartest thing you've ever seen in your life. So then, surprise, surprise, the next season, Under Armour is the official apparel provider. But yeah, like, that's the work. Like, that's the work that's always on. And I love that about the Miz. I just thought that was the smartest, most anecdotal thing you could possibly
Dude,
do.
I watched this season. Me and my ex-wife used to watch Real World all the time. I watched this season, and he was entertaining as fuck, man. That was probably one of the funnest seasons
Yeah.
of Real World.
Well, he is now too. I don't know if you guys don't follow the WWE like I do, but no one is more over. Like, he's a top flight dude who's been doing it for 15 years or I guess 10 years, and he'll be a Hall of Famer. Like,
Yeah.
he's unreal.
And I remember when he came in, because he wanted to be a wrestler when he joined Real World.
Yes.
And he had all the the show and the whole deal. And I remember when he got into the wrestling, I was like, "There's no way this Real World contestant is gonna make it." And he just kept on and kept on. And
There's
now
also
he's
been a
one of the biggest
few
wrestlers.
other successful ones. I know one of them's an actress. I'm not positive. She was in Real World San Diego, but I'm not positive her name. Or I've seen her in a few films, but it's not clearly as successful as The Miz. But I mean, the rest of them, like Johnny Bananas, has been around forever. He's pretty much just he promotes for him still and makes his money. Like, he stole Sarah. Well, he was smart and took Sarah's money and said, "I'm not splitting it. I'm taking the whole thing." Took all 250 of it.
That was last year. You missed that. That was
The
last year.
rest just keep doing the challenges. That's the rest of the cast. They didn't really do shit.
They're helping a lot of charities. They're doing.
They're doing their thing. They're making a hell of a lot more money than I am. So
But they had to get this gimmick in where they get pro athletes in, because Are You the One is where they're getting all their new contestants from, and nobody really cares about these Are You the One people. So it's just it's not as exciting now that the fact that most of these challenge contestants are about 40 and they don't want to do it anymore, and they got 4 kids at home. The wife's not gonna be like, "Yeah, you're not gonna go away for 2 months and party. We got 4 kids." So he's like, "Well, what about 50,000?" Yeah, no, because there's like 19 girls out there, so it's not gonna happen.
and that one chick DM died right like a few years ago.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
That sucks.
That sucks.
Way to bring it down, bud.
Hey man, I'm just saying.
People do die.
Yeah.
Like 100% of the time. Really?
That's
Bring that
pretty-
down. Speaking of the WWE
100%.
and CM Punk, is he back in the WWE? I haven't
Hard
heard.
no.
I haven't heard. He's
No.
still training for the UFC.
No, he's on the challenge.
Yeah, he's on the challenge.
Well,
He's still at the-
sorry, so is Victor Cruz, but I think he's still in the NFL.
No,
Cruz
Victor
is
Cruz
the
is not
host.
signed. He tried to go
He's
to.
not on an active roster.
Yeah, he made a plea to
Fuck,
the
I host
Jaguars.
a sports podcast. You think I paid just a little bit of attention
He made
to
a,
MTV?
he made a plea to the
You
Jaguars
should probably go play with the LA Rams. They need some wide receiver help.
Super
because
Bowl.
Tom Coughlin is the president over there, so he's made a plea to the Jaguars, and he hasn't gotten signed yet. So
I apologize.
Give it time.
He'll be a training camp sign.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if he's healthy.
he'll go to the
Oh,
Eagles. where
hope he didn't get
people
hurt
go
on
to
the
die.
show.
He's
Oh,
not
man.
competing. He's just
He's
hosting.
Oh, he's hosting. but there are athletes
He's the new
playing.
TJ Lavin.
Lavin, that's what I was looking for.
I had it the whole
TJ's
time.
That guy's-
great.
I like that guy. He was pretty cool.
You just didn't want
You
to help me
holding
out.
out on
Huh?
us.
Thanks.
So's life.
Thanks, Fred.
So is life. What else is going on? Anybody watching the NHL playoffs?
I mean,
I'm
I am
not.
definitely watching them. God,
Nashville's going to the finals, right?
they're on fire. Colton Sesson with a hat trick last night. It got a little chippy towards the end, but whenever you get to 6-3 and your season's over, it's going to get a little chippy
There
for
better
the
be.
Anaheim Ducks.
When it comes to hockey, I love NHL playoffs. If the team I like is still in it, I like the Bruins and I like the Blues. They're both not in it, so it kind of like okay.
I can find a way to watch the Western Conference because we play them all the time throughout the year. It's tougher for me to get excited about watching the Penguins Sens, especially whenever it's a game.
Well, if
6
they-
But
and
if it's
lose.
on, I'll watch it. But then I look at the Penguins winning 7-0. I'm like, this is the playoffs.
Well, if they played those games on Fox Sports Midwest, I might watch them. But like the Cardinals are on, so
Yeah,
that's
they're
pretty
in the
much where my
Cardinals
life's
are in the
at.
way.
I mean, I did make sure after the Preakness we went straight to at least we're interchanging with Nashville, Anaheim, and the Cardinal game, which didn't last very long, but I got to look at it during commercials, so it's the best I could do. And then we went to the bar, and I requested that instead of the Cardinal game on the TV, and so I got to hook up there.
So
It's
how'd
okay.
you,
That Cardinal game was just disappointing.
how'd you
anyway.
guys like the tickets though? I mean,
Oh, those were great.
yeah,
Are
it
we
was
supposed
fun.
to say thank you on
Okay.
air?
No, no.
I think
'cause-
I think I said thank you. I
You
feel like I
did,
should've.
and you didn't have to.
I mean, was that
Uh,
blowjob not enough, or like you need more?
You are the cum dumpster. So no, they because my boss came up to me and he's like, "Hey, I got 4 more tickets tonight." And that was Friday night. It was like 3:00. I was like, I can't swing that one, like. But if
I could have.
Yeah. Pretend like you're taking them and give them to Jake. What are
Yeah.
you thinking?
so, there'll be opportunities for more. So
Yeah, those were cool.
Yeah, I definitely do it again. Can you try to get them on a weekend though this time so I can go hard to
that's the thing is they go to like customers, and the ones customers can't go to filter to me, and usually that's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
All right,
games.
even like a Sunday
But
day
I-
game, I could probably pull because I'm off on Monday.
Now I did request the Red Sox tickets, because I'm a Red Sox fan.
Well,
but,
tell them
uh,
your buddy's a fucking. I don't know. Do we play the Rays at home? Tell them your buddy's a Rays fan. I don't care.
Because I went to the game on Sunday, and it was a winner, so that was fun. But we sat in section 435, which I contend is where the real fans sit. When you have to look down on the scoreboard, that's when you know you're in
But
the
I
good seats.
like it up there. I
I-
like because you don't have to look around. You just look, and it's.
And this
right
is
there.
why I don't like him. I made the
bird's
point
eye.
about the 6th inning. I go, look how many beer vendors are on the first level, and look
Yeah.
how many are up top. We spotted about 10 or 12 before we even got to 1 up in the top section.
That was a good point.
That's an issue.
I tell you what, I did a little bit of drunk Facebook living.
You did. That was fantastic,
Yes,
by the way.
I went back and watched those, and I was like, man, I'm sweating my balls off, and I'm slurring my speech a little bit.
So, Fred, I've been meaning to ask you since we got you here. I know you talked about this on the way in. What do you think about this NBA final? I mean, it looks like it's going to be Cleveland, Golden State.
Well, I think it's tough to talk about this chapter of the NBA without talking about like every prequel to it, which is the formality of the NBA playoffs. Like it's just a 2-month wait.
Yeah.
Like there's no reason to tune in.
Did anybody know no reason to tune into the regular season either because we knew it was going to happen.
There's 80. So, hey guys, we got 81 or 82 games or whatever it is, and then we got 2 months of playoffs. But make sure you're here for this 10 days because we got 10 days at the very end. That's going to be awesome. And the way the association works, which in my opinion, the associations will work. In my opinion, they know their entertainment. They know obviously there's sport involved, but they know how they've captured their audience. And I think how the draft lottery played out this year is a prime example. I think the draft's been fixed a couple times. 15, 16 years ago, whenever LeBron came in, I thought the draft was fixed. And this year, I think the way it's going to play out to get the kid from UCLA in a good position, I think it was I think maybe the work was in a little bit.
Yeah.
Or how about when LeBron left Cleveland and then all of a sudden they get the number 1 pick?
Love that. I mean,
Like-
there's no one worse in the whole world than Wiggins.
Andrew Wiggins.
Andrew
Yeah.
Wiggins. He was awful. Not Andrew Wiggins.
I was
Who's
going
the
to say, he's not bad at Minnesota.
no? Who's
right
the
now.
other kid? Not Andrew Wiggins. He was the other kid from Canada.
I don't remember.
Yes, you do. He went to the Cavaliers. Oh, Google this real quick. This is gonna kill
Hang
me.
on, I got it.
From Canada.
Oh,
Like
man,
just
I did-
Canadian player.
Did he
for
play in
Cavaliers?
college?
Yes.
Where did he play?
Did he play in college? Oh, I guess that's
Well, you could have been
it's
a
a
foreign
legit
player,
question.
like if you're talking like Darko
I
Milicic.
think
He was
it's a
bad.
legit question
This
in
is,
the NBA.
hold on. This is the worst radio you've ever heard. And I'm Anthony Bennett. So
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
yeah, he was
That's
garbage. But yeah, the league this year,
there
it's
it
been,
is.
UNLV.
yeah, the playoffs have been a formality. They are a joke. They're non-existent. They're whatever. But I love the face heel dynamic. I'm going to go back to WWE real quick. I love that if you want to be the biggest fan of the Cleveland Cavaliers, you absolutely can be. And if you want to hate the Cleveland Cavaliers, it's so easy to do it. And and your only other option is Golden State. That's your only other option. And I was talking about it on the drive-in. I was talking to that 590 show, and I was saying they're the top 4 selling jerseys in the league: James, Irving, Curry, and Durant. And those 4 guys play for 2 teams. And that's how this league is built. It's not built around teams. It's not built around the associations. It's built around players. And those players are going to lead those teams to the championship. And I believe this year Golden State comes out on top in the finals. And then next year we're going to wait all year long for that rubber match. And it's going to be the one that's going to put it ahead. And that's going to be a sweet burn up until then. And it's going to be slow and it's going to be long. And I'm not going to watch until after Christmas. And then even then I'm going to watch just 2 or 3 games a year. But yeah, the finals are as good as it gets, man.
Yeah.
And dynamics of teams. This is the formula now, guys. It's not like when we were growing up and it's Heat and Pacers and Knicks and Bulls and maybe Charlotte whenever they're trending a little bit. And here come the Heat a little bit. You got 6 guys in the East that can do it. No. You only now have 2 or 3 teams because super teams are the trend. And you got your max guys, you got your right under max guys, and then you got veterans that want to figure it out.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing fan now knows.
And they may try and tease you a little bit with Boston getting the 1 seed, but I mean, everybody could put 2 and 2 together that Boston is not, even with IT, which they won game 3 without them, but at the same time, they're not going to win another game
No.
in this series. So
Hey
they
man,
gave you a
they're
little-
up. They're up right now, 13-9.
13-9, yeah. And they were also down 40 in the other 2 games that I
Yeah.
watched them play.
Boston is close though. They are close.
Toronto's close.
There's a
Toronto's
few,
close until
there's-
they all leave Toronto.
They
There's
are
a few-
close
Kyle
to
Lowry's
being
gonna be the
second
first.
to the Cleveland
They're-
Cavaliers.
they're-
close to losing in the Eastern Finals.
Bradley Stevens is a legit coach. So
Yes.
Boston is close to being a team that could dethrone like a Cleveland, but then get swept away in the finals. But they're not too far behind, I don't think. So there's a few teams that
Well,
it's not a complete run. This year it's a complete runaway. I mean, you look at Golden State; they swept their way through the playoffs. Even the Spurs, even though the controversy with Kawhi, and his ankle and shit. And then Cleveland almost did the same thing and completely destroyed the Celtics twice. This year, yeah, but next year I think the teams like Boston, Toronto, they're getting there. So I don't
See,
think it's going to be.
I just
complete.
Although I hear your point, and I think the approach is sound. The best player in the league this year is not LeBron James, and that's because LeBron James allowed that, and that's what I think it is with the East as well. Cleveland doesn't care if they finish first or second or third, as long as they're in the dance, and they're always in the dance.
Right.
And I think it's important for Golden State, and they wore their batteries out last year. They went for that they went for that 73 games or whatever, and that was their championship before they got there. But with Toronto or with, like you were saying, Boston, and I think outside of that, there's not a ton of
There's
these.
not many. You look at Boston;
You might
they've
be able
got
to talk
that.
about Washington.
Boston's got that
Yeah.
number 1 pick, which they're shopping a hefty price tag for. But then they also have the Nets' number 1 pick next year. So they've got
And then that's
they
gonna
can make
be
some
a bottom 3 team again.
they can wheel and deal these picks, get some veterans or whatever, and get some pieces. Durant, like we said, we were talking when he first went to Golden State, he's got that 1-year opt out. I think he's going to opt out. If they win a championship, he's going to opt out and go to LA with Paul George and if he wins the ring,
and
I think
Lorenzo
he's,
Ball, who
I
falls
think
to LA.
I think he's going to opt out and go to LA.
I think the point you made about LeBron too was kind of proven whenever they even asked him during the stretch run of the season, they asked him about resting, and he's like, "Who are you talking to?" Like, I'm LeBron James. When's the last time I even lost a playoff series? Like, I don't give a shit about this regular season game right now. Like, sorry that you bought a ticket to see me play, but this is not what I'm about. So
It's unreal to me how much better he is than everyone else in the game.
If he wanted to, he could score 50 a night. He's just that
Yes.
big of a presence. I mean, he's huge. He's a
That
big
kid,
motherfucker.
that kid in Houston scores 70 one night, or Phoenix or wherever.
Yeah.
That kid in Phoenix scores 70. That's a really good night for him.
Devin Booker.
Yeah, he's going to have that memory for the rest of his life. LeBron James could have that memory every night.
if he wanted to, yep.
He's the kid who gets all the triple doubles in Houston. Westbrook, not Houston.
Nope.
Houston, or are you
OKC.
talking about OKC?
OKC.
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes every night and he goes out to get his numbers because he's the only guy on that squad, and that's what they have to do. And he's probably the best player in the league, and he's going to win MVP. And they were a 7th seed.
He should, because they would be about a 19-win team without him.
Yes.
That's why I think James Harden's Houston Rockets could probably sneak in as a 7 or 8 without him. I don't think OKC would win.
OKC is horrible
more than
without
22
Westbrook.
games without Russell Westbrook. I want to get in while we're on the NBA topic. So Boston does have the first pick. Who do you think they will take, and who do you think will be the best player in the NBA? Do you have any clue?
Oh, no, I don't know.
I can't even remember that dude's name.
I have my Markelle Fultz is who they're
Fultz.
saying everybody's going to take from Washington.
They don't take ball. They're not. They don't.
I think that's probably who they'll take. I personally think De'Aaron Fox from Kentucky. I watched him grow in the NCAA tournament as a player. I think
He can go.
he's an absolute going to be a ball player. He can fit at the 1 or the 2. I think he's going to wind up being electric, in my opinion.
Boston takes ball, and then they move ball.
If they take ball, LeVar Ball loses his fucking mind because he doesn't go to L.A.
I hope the NBA just bans him from anything.
Exact
He's the
opposite.
worst.
He's the exact thing they need.
Why do they need him?
Hey, you're right.
they need a heel.
Yeah, well, you're right. It's
Yeah.
classic heel writing here, and I'm telling you, the association's a fix. Don't think it's not. Lorenzo Ball comes into the league, and he's felt the oppression of LeVar Ball, and he has to be part of that shoe deal. And forever he's been just badgered and fought by his father. And for 3 years he has to play as an outcast in Boston, and then finally he can break away. It's 5 years down the road.
When
guys.
his little brother comes up
Yep.
into the NBA.
It's exactly what it is.
Well, everybody forgets that he has a middle brother that's he's like number 17 next year.
Good.
LaMelo Ball will be number 1. I think it's Lee Anthony. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
Go
I'm not
Fish.
positive, but I think Lee Anthony is the middle brother, and he's a top 20
No,
player
this-
next year.
It's the Manning brothers coming into the NBA.
It's a sweet
Except there's
work.
3 of them. Cooper actually makes it.
Cooper
this time.
was pretty good.
That's what Peyton says. But like, but
Ask Cooper. He's pretty
you're
good.
right. In 5 years, when Lorenzo Ball signs his $300 million deal with Under Armour or Nike, or Paul Knight's not going to let this guy skip. Whenever he signs this $300 million deal with Nike, and he looks like he's escaping the oppression of his father, and he's making off with $300 million, and we're spending $120 on his shoes. No, yeah, I'm telling you, it's all writing. This and what. However they deliver, it's entertainment. The NBA is entertainment. It's not sports, and I love it. That's why I love it. It's
And that's
why
probably
their
your
video game sells too.
That's your WWE coming over too.
yes, I love that stuff. Like
But the WWE game sells too on Xbox and PS4. It sells.
if you give the NHL to Vince McMahon, the NHL is the best product on earth. Right now, the NHL sucks. No one watches the NHL. If you're a fan of it, like you are horse racing, you think it's a big deal. It is not a big deal. No one cares about the NHL. You put Vince McMahon on it, though, sure as shit, people are going to tune into it.
Did you watch the 30 and 30 of the XFL?
Yeah, duh.
Dude, I wish the XFL was still here. I'm watching that. I'm like, fucking hey, man, that was so entertaining. That was great.
They talked. What it did was it put a lot of features that are in the game now. Mostly on its delivery and presentation. This is all entertainment stuff, not rules, not approach, whatever. But like how the game is viewed now with Skycam, within the huddle, and I know NFL Sounds have been doing stuff for a long time, but miking guys up. That was all because of Vince McMahon. It was all because of Sable, or not Sable, but
You bring up Sable, though.
Who's the
We
guy
might as
from
well talk
CBS?
about her.
I'm down to talk about it.
But they do got to bring the scrum for the possession instead of a coin flip.
broken arms left and right. I just love the NFL. I mean XFL.
The XFL was
WWE.
great, man. When I saw that documentary, I was like, man, I didn't realize I missed the XFL, and it was only here for one season.
I've been real fortunate to, through AM radio and be it going over any of the mini stuff I've done, and I've been to Super Bowls and I've been to really cool stuff, and I've had a lot of good fortune, and I've interviewed the highest flight celebrities you've ever heard of. I've interviewed Olympic gold medalists and Super Bowl champions, and the best interview I've ever done, and it's not even close, was Booker T. Booker T sits down across from me at a table, and he talks for 10 minutes, and I listen. And I think, oh, this guy knows how to go over. Like he's going over. And thank you, Mary Lou Retton. You were great. You were America's sweetheart in the '80s, but I got Booker fucking T. Right in front of me.
he came through in WCW first, right? Or no?
Absolutely.
That's where he came up. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. When he came up, because when I first went in the Air Force, like we worked night shift and we watched WCW and we watched WWE and
WWF then.
Yeah, no, it was WWE.
Was it already switched over? Huh?
And Booker T, WCW was actually, I thought was the Nitro and all that shit. At the
I
time,
disagree because I've always been a WWF.
but then
WWE
you
guy.
had at the same time you had Stone Cold and The Rock on the. It was a fun time to watch wrestling back then.
It right now is better than it's ever been. If you're not watching right
Is it?
now, and I hate to hijack your program for this, but the product right now being put out is it's smart and it's complex and it's multi-layered, and a really good swerve in wrestling is better than or just as good as any plot twist in Game of Thrones or any, I don't even know what series you guys are passionate about, but any really good writing, and it's being done currently. It's being done every single week.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love it, man. I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah, we had one episode devoted to WWE. It was during
it was right before WrestleMania.
WrestleMania, whatever. It was pretty fun.
Thanks for the call.
But
we actually had a guy on, your buddy Jake, that loved it.
We had Roger McDonald on.
Yeah.
I might give it a watch, man. I haven't watched it in a while, but
it's outstanding.
If it's that good.
And what sold me on it is just maybe 2 weeks ago I went to a Garth Brooks concert, and that's the best concert I've ever seen in my life. Like, and I've seen 100 concerts.
Mm-hmm.
And this Garth Brooks one, he just blew the top off of it, and for 5.5 hours, it was the best 5.5 hours. That felt like 5 minutes of my whole life, and just had a blast. But it doesn't even pale in comparison to being at WrestleMania with 100,000 screaming fans in Dallas when the glass breaks and the place, everyone exhales at once, and Stone Cold comes out, and I got goosebumps even talking about it right now. And you think this is unmatched. This is this is unfucking real.
My son used to be obsessed when he was little with wrestling. So I have 2 folding chairs that you get for watching all of the pay-per-views, and it was exciting. Like especially when a match is going on and all of a sudden like the fucking Ultimate Warriors music comes on, and, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? That shit was it gives you goosebumps.
Yeah,
I remember.
I used to be, whenever Schnook's Video was still around, instead of hanging out with my friends on the weekend, I would just literally sit at home and go rent like Royal Rumble 93 and WrestleMania 95 and just watch those all night because fuck, why not?
I've seen every Royal Rumble because I have the network. I don't know if you guys have the network. Get the network. It's $10 a month. It's everything in Crystal HD. But yeah, right before WrestleMania or right before the Royal Rumble this year, me and my then roommate watched all 30 of them leading up to it.
It's a hell of a binge.
I mean, that is a little bit of a binge, but I kind of stopped watching, right after the switch over and the combined. That's when I kind of faded out. But I was the biggest fan back in whenever I was 7 to 13, 14. And just kind of Yokozuna, The Undertaker, those guys. That was my era.
That's when I was a super fan. I was a Hulkamaniac, dude. I had the little weight set, the cassette. That was.
Well, you said your prayers, you ate your vitamins. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a question I have that I can't at all follow up with.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I can start a topic going. My friend Steve on Facebook said WWE has the deepest, most impressive roster they've ever had, and they put their top title on Jinder Mahal. Am I saying that right?
Yes.
Jinder Mahal. I get that India is a big market, but there has to be a better way to tap into it than by tarnishing your world title. Your thoughts on the tarnishment of the world title?
I'm sorry he doesn't like that the heel has the title. Like that guy doesn't realize it. That guy's the mark. That's what they're trying to upset that guy. WWE's like, how do we start this conversation? That guy's starting it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you don't get it. You're doing exactly what they want you to do.
You're playing into
and
it.
you think you're oppo it. You think you're against the brand. You are not. You're literally right here in their hand. And if you hate Roman Reigns, it's because they want you to hate Roman Reigns. Don't think otherwise. So no, that's perfect. That makes perfect sense to me.
So he's playing right into the game.
Yeah, duh.
He might be playing it up too because he's a big fan too. He might be knowing what he's doing, but
There's no way. I'm telling you though. I have not I've been watching religiously for a long time. I have not looked at a storyline or a swerve and thought, oh, that was stupid. Because it always grows, it always goes somewhere, and that's what this is going to do. And I love it. It's very smart.
And when they brought the divas on, dude, they are the most incredible looking fucking women.
Top 3 real quick. All time.
All time?
All time.
Oh, you're fucking up.
Michelle McCool's in there.
I think you're fucking up.
Man. Number 1, because we all had the Playboy Sable.
I do.
Trish Stratus.
Yeah, I think Trish Stratus is my number one.
Yeah.
She's my number one. Sable will be my number 2.
We're splitting hairs here.
Yeah, I don't
This
know.
is Fred's
Stacey
question.
Keebler would be my
Everybody
number
can be
3.
number one. I mean, it's okay.
The Bella twins are twins, so they count as one.
That- That's one egg.
Okay, yeah.
so.
No, I mean, there's so many options. Like, I want to fall in love with all of them, and
Yeah.
vice versa, trick them into falling.
Who was the one that was on Dancing with the Stars with the legs?
Stacey Keebler.
With the legs.
Keebler? Yeah, Stacey
Or was it,
Keebler.
was it Tori Wilson? Which one was
No,
it?
Ooh,
Stacey
Tori
Keebler.
Wilson. Forgot about Tori Wilson.
Yeah.
Who's married to Brock Lesnar? Isn't Brock Lesnar?
Sable.
Sable.
Yeah,
Sable. And then McCool was married to Undertaker, right?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't
We're getting
like
into
the
the
I know a
gossip
lot
here.
about wrestling, and I don't even follow it.
He doesn't
That's
look
weird.
into the real stuff,
I don't like
the real
I
facts.
only like the storyline.
No facts, no facts.
I just remember during the where was the Super Bowl held this year?
This year,
Yeah,
Houston.
was it Houston?
Yeah, I was there.
I was
No-
going to
no
ask
big
you how
deal,
that
yeah.
was because I remember.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
there was during the football season. I think it was Undertaker got a tour of Dallas Stadium.
Sure.
And Michelle McCool was there. I'm like, what the hell is she doing there? That's his wife. I'm like,
Super.
that
in love.
motherfucker, man. He's like 50-something years old, and he's got good on him. Good for him. He's probably older than that, but
He's pushing it. He just had his last match. He just retired out.
did he?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's sad.
For now.
Yeah, right.
Until Paul Bearer comes back from the dead too, and they pull both of them out of a casket.
Real quick, because I know you're trying to go, Jake, but I'll
Yeah.
give you this anecdote because people listen to me are going to listen to this. I originally got into radio a million years ago. Well, I found my passion for it. So when I was a kid, I was watching ECW, which was this third brand. There was the two brand, WCW, WWF, and then there was ECW. Which
That's
was
where Hardy went to after he fell off his drugs or whatever.
maybe. I mean,
Yeah.
I have no idea. But the guy that ran it was a guy named Paul Heyman. And Paul Heyman, who's still in the game today, he could talk about wrestling, and he could get you his presentation of the sport and the way he went on about it. He could really sell it, and I was buying it. And as I'm listening to this guy, I'm like, I could do that. I'm like, I could describe what I'm seeing, and I could make a story out of that. But I sure as shit cannot do the flips that are happening in the ring. I cannot bounce off that rope. I was like, if I'm gonna do something in athletics, and if I'm gonna do something that involves sports entertainment, it has to be in a commentary role. It has to be in a storytelling role, and that is my very first memory of knowing that broadcast delivery was going to be influential in the rest of my life as opposed to performing or playing on the field. I was like, I knew because of pro wrestling, which is a crazy thought.
Yeah, and they articulate it well.
Yeah.
And one more thing, I just want to get, since the series most likely will have started by the time we get around to next week, let's get everybody's NBA and NHL predictions. I know neither of them are technically finished, but I think they are. I think Pittsburgh will wind up facing Nashville, and it'll be Cleveland Golden State. So who do you guys got? We'll start with NBA.
I like Golden State so we have the rubber match next year.
Yeah, I'm the exact same. I think it's Golden State's.
Yeah, I think Golden State's hot. They're going to run it. I do think Boston's going to win tonight, tie the series up. But just
right.
make it interesting.
All right, Boston
But
fan.
All right, I'll take Cleveland at 5, and I'll take Cleveland in 6.
Cleveland, huh?
All right. NHL, I'm going to go with Sid the Kid with the mush brain. I think he gets it done again. Although Nashville's hot, but I just think they've been there before. There's my analysis of NHL games that I don't watch.
Fred?
Yeah, hockey, man. I don't know.
There's a bigger following than you think.
No, there's not.
This man is on 590 The Fan. Like, he's got his ear to the ground.
No, I understand, but if you have a team in the city, but outside of that radius, there's nothing, and that's different than any other sport. WWE doesn't have to be in a city; it can be anywhere. NHL, I can guarantee you, there's more people excited, or at least for Blues, whenever it comes playoff time, than it is to watch the last 30 games in a Blues season. If it's coming down to a playoff year, than it is the last 30 games going into the Cardinal season, at least in my area.
I went to my very first Blues game this year, and I'm at the game. I'm at Savas Center, whatever it's called. I'm at the Savas Center, and I'm watching, and nothing's happening, and nothing's happening, and nothing's happening. I could repeat that 50 times in a row, and then Jake Allen makes a big save. Oh man, and I get excited. There's about 3 seconds there where I'm like, this is up. This is where I want to be. And then nothing's happening, and nothing's happening. And I'm not the only person who views it this way. Like, and that's why it's lost. That's why it's lost to fan, because I think it's a smart game. I think it's a complex game. I think there's a lot going on that me as a casual fan does not see and does not get.
And I wasn't a hockey fan until I believe my senior year in high school. So it's 10 years. I've only been a 10-year hockey fan, but I can now say, after watching multiple playoff runs, that I would rather watch a Blues playoff game than a Cardinal playoff game. Yeah. And that's just me. That may not be everybody. That's probably not everybody. It's not the majority, but there is a lot of more people, at least on my side of the river, that you know of, that feel that same way.
I think we all live on the same side of the river.
Well, okay, that's true.
Hockey's like
my area, my Belleville area, I guess I should say.
Hockey's one of the only sports where it's actually more enjoyable to go watch it live than it is on TV. But the thing that makes, like you said, you could hear, you just hear sticks, and then all of a sudden a big save, right? But then you go like, well, I'm going to take a piss. And then I was saying, wah! You're like, fuck, what? I fucking missed a goal, you know?
That's why I kind of disagree on that statement. I think NHL is more fun to watch on TV. I think it's one of the more entertaining games on TV, actually, than it is to be in the stadium.
The only thing I like about hockey on TV is no commercials.
Yeah. That is true. They just keep playing.
Yes.
They just keep playing.
I do like that. But I think I enjoy it more live because of the atmosphere. I think it's a smaller arena, so it's more quote unquote intimate, you know, and it's fun.
So who's going to win Lord Stanley's Cup?
Nashville. Nashville, the crowd, first Stanley Cup ever. They're in it. If you watched Game 6 at home against Anaheim, Pittsburgh won't win a game in Nashville. Nashville will win a game in Pittsburgh. It'll be over in 6. Sounds Penguins like my favorite number.
Penguins in 5. I don't think.
Oh, wow. That's intense.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very limp dick for the Predators. They're going to go in high, but then maybe win game 1 and then bloop.
Go with the best goalie, Pekka.
So,
Fred, where can the people find you?
Regular, you can hear the program terrestrially, anyways, here in St. Louis on 590 The Fan, 105.72 HD. You can check that out every Saturday and Sunday, 10 to noon. Obviously, you can get the 590 app. We live stream on InsideSTL.com. If you are like many of my friends and you don't listen on the weekends, then go to InsideSTL.com/show/going-over. The podcast is there. Not just do we do the radio program, but we do Going Overtime. The name of the program is Going Overtime, which is interviews throughout the week. We do a wrestling-specific show, myself and Joe Roderick and Andy Hasselman, and we have the resources of the 4 call letters, so we get a lot of exciting guests. We had a really good interview with Orlando Cepeda on Sunday. That's a take-home interview. Check that one out. And otherwise, it's jokes, it's stories, it's leisure. So
I will tell you, I've been tuning in, dude.
I appreciate that.
I like you guys a lot better than those mainstream guys that's on the FM channel. You guys are fun to listen to. It's that
means a lot. Well, and we have a freedom that's not necessarily appreciated. Or excuse me, that's not the terminology. We have a freedom that's not necessarily allowed everywhere else, and we're able to, alongside our analysis, and I'm not going to give you balls and strikes, guys. I'm not Frank Cusimano. I don't have it like that. But what I am going to do is I'm going to tell you stories throughout the week and hopefully tie them into sports. A lot of concepts, a lot of, like you guys, it's weekly, so it's a lot of opinions, but none of them time specific. So yeah, go back, check out the program. And then, like I said, if you want to go back far enough in the archives, we must have interviewed 100 people at the Super Bowl, and really good stories.
Yeah.
Just
you
really
look like you had a blast out there too.
We did. So. Yeah, I was one. It's fun to start drinking one day and then not stop days later.
Well, see, you know those commercials that say if you have an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If I was at the Super Bowl, I'd have to call that because I'd have the erection the whole fucking time I was there. So,
well, and it was the best part about what we do. Well, what I do specifically, and I know you guys are making that step. It's you go to these events, and you go to these games, and you're able to broadcast. Be it with the Ambush or the Cardinal or whoever I'm working with, it's the hospitality room. It's not even close. Like, just getting free food from someone else is the... and beer? Oh, okay.
Fuck,
yeah. Thank you, Houston Tourist Bureau. I'm in. God, I love the free stuff.
Yeah, there's Getch. Facebook Live and drunk again.
Where'd you get that T-shirt? I don't remember.
I got this T-shirt from you, but you got it from Old Ball Yard.
Yeah.
The guys over there. You can get it at oldballyard.com. I have to say it slowly, not because I'm drunk.
I want to keep saying Yardbird, but yeah, Ball Yard. Ball Yard.
Oldballyard.com. And you can find them on Facebook. And go check them out. This is an extra large 60-40 blend.
Yeah,
I
it's
think you said.
polycotton.
Nice.
Whatever.
I like it. I want
It does. It fits me really well, and I hope you don't take it back after the
No, I
show.
want you
'cause
to
I'm
have it.
planning on wearing it
Yeah,
pretty frequently.
that fun inside baseball real quick before we go. That shirt was actually a promise to Matt Adams, and Matt Adams got traded, so he no longer needed it, and therefore you have the same build as a professional athlete.
So I am Matt Adams.
Not a sentence.
Fred, we know you're a busy guy. I appreciate you
your time.
stopping by.
We don't have time to go 6 degrees of Jake and Matt.
Where can they find us, Kevin?
You can find us on Facebook at FUTB Bleachers.
Or is that Twitter? That they can
Want
find
to say
us on
Facebook?
yeah, or they can find us on FUT Bleachers.
Yeah, you can find us. You just type in FUT Bleachers anywhere. You can hopefully find us. iTunes, have we broken the mold again?
I don't know what's going on. We're not on iTunes, but we are on Stitcher.
We are
So
on
there's
Stitcher. We are on.
We are. I did have a friend find us there.
Yeah,
the other day.
for onethebleachers.com. You found us here on YouTube. Subscribe to us so we can get our own URL.
Yes, and there is going to be some contributions as far as writing. I'll get to that next week, but
Oh yeah, we should have talked about that a little bit. But you guys are got some good stuff in the works.
we'll wait
we'll
till
wait
it's
till
in.
next. That's a teaser for next week.
That's more not public knowledge stuff that I just bring up, unfortunately. Thanks for listening, guys. Tell your friends. Tell your mom.
We're out.
Peace.
Good job, everyone. GG.